Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time for Luis. I'm not sure if you pronounce it Louis or Luis, but thank you for that, and for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of reviews or commentaries, reactions, re-reviews, topics, whatever it may be, feel free to send it. Either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. As this time is Python from 2000. I remember seeing this way back in the day because this is around the time when films like Anaconda had come out, which was 97. And you had some other creature features coming out at that time. So I saw Anaconda in the theater, and I liked it for what it was. I enjoyed it. And I'm a big creature feature fan. And so this is like the early stages of that Sci-Fi Channel stuff. This is when Sci-Fi Channel was spelled sci-fi, not S-Y-F-Y, like it is now. And Python was a direct-to-video film, and I'm sitting there going, okay, Casper Van Dien's in it. I remember from Starship Troopers. Oh, Robert Englund's in it. Definitely remember him. It's Freddy Krueger. Okay, you got Billy Zabka, the bully from The Karate Kid. You got people like Sean Whalen, who is Roach in People Under the Stairs. You have John Franklin in a big role. He was one of the villains in the original Children of the Corn. Isaac. Even like Jenny McCarthy has a role in it. Wil Wheaton is in it. Dana Barron. She was the daughter in the first National Lampoon's Vacation. Coogan from Adventures in Babysitting, he has a tiny role. So, as a guy that grew up in that era, there's a lot of recognizable people. Although the lead guy... It's funny they got all these recognizable people, but then the lead guy, I thought they got kind of bland. I mean, I've seen worse, but it was kind of bland. I don't know why they didn't get a recognizable person for the lead with all these other actors they got. Even early on, where it starts with this plane, and the pilot is Ed Lauter, who I remember as the cop who helps Charles Bronson in Death Wish 3, among other stuff. So this plane goes down, and then the lesbians go down, because as soon as the plane goes down, they cut to lesbians camping, and lesbians go down on each other. Which you don't get to see a whole lot, sadly, but... This is one of those films that, to me, is not a good film. But it's goofy. I know it's came out 2000, but it feels very late 90s. And, the recognizable actors kind of help. And for a film that's shot in 18 days... It shows how many bad films I've seen in the past 5 years where this becomes tolerable. I mean, when you watch Treasure Chest of Horrors, and when you watch Feeders, and what the hell have I seen? I've seen a lot of bad stuff. This becomes, like I said, tolerable. But just even... I still don't know why. Sometimes with these cheap direct-to-video films, I could deal with them even though they have bad CGI. Very rarely, but... Like some of the stuff with Dean Cain I could deal with. Bowe, also known as New Alcatraz. Because like, oh, I like Dean Cain. And the fact this takes place in this abandoned prison, kind of a cool setting. Or Dragon Fighter with Dean Cain, I remember I could deal with, because again, I like Dean Cain. They should have got Dean Cain in this. Maybe I would like it more. Or someone else. Even if it's someone like Jeff Speakman. Just give him a couple fight scenes and there you go. But anyway... The plot of the film is this plane's going down, and like I said, these lesbians go down on each other. They get killed in the woods. You don't see anything. So you have your lead guy who is a BMX biker. He's worked at this factory. He's come back home. He gets back with his girlfriend, played by Dana Barron. Dana Barron used to be with the deputy, played by Billy Zabka. So he's pissed off that this lead stole his girlfriend. I will say they go against the grain where you think Billy Zabka will just be the typical villainous asshole, and he's not. I think this is one of the first times I saw him get to play a good guy. Because he starts off as a prick, but that was kind of one of the fun things, is that the transition from him going from there to, oh, he's actually pretty decent. I thought that was at least something going against the grain, and I'll give the writing credit to that part. It might be a little credit, but it's still credit. I mentioned the other actors. Wil Wheaton is buddies with the lead guy. He's got purple hair. Sean Whalen, he's one of the comedic relief characters. He's another deputy. John Franklin, like I said, from Children of the Corn, he's the almost not really coroner, but he's the doctor that looks at these dead bodies that they were done in by acid. Jenny McCarthy's there to get her head cut off. Cool, because I'm not a fan of Jenny McCarthy. I think she's an annoying twat. Dana Barron, like I said, she's the girlfriend of the lead. In the factory, I swear, for the most part, we see like 3 other workers other than the lead. There's the boss. And I remember the boss, he went on to play, was it Spender? The guy who was Sarah Smoky Man's son in the X-Files. I think he was called Agent Spender. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. And then one of the other factory workers is Chief Coogan, which I could barely recognize, but he was one of the kids in Adventures of Babysitting. He was the brother of the little girl who loved the Thor. Chief Coogan was the older brother of that girl in Adventures of Babysitting. There's some goof, like 90s-esque feel to it. It went at a decent pace. It wasn't too boring. You have this one character, like Kenny the Closer, this realtor, who the lead and Wil Wheaton talked to, and he's getting really excited, and he's like, yeah, you don't get that deal, right? You don't get that deal. And then some kid rides off at a bicycle ready to hit his car, and he's like, oh, I hit your balls like a fucking dice from my mirror. You get that, Billy? You piece of munty shit. But he says to this little kid. He's definitely going over the top, but he's a bit entertaining. Oh yeah, and Casper Van Dien and Robert Englund. I almost forgot about them because that's one of the things I remember hating back in the day and still don't like. I mean, I'm not a big Casper Van Dien fan, but at the time, it's like, oh, Starship Troopers. Okay, what's he going to do next? Okay, he's going to do this, and he's NSA, but you look at the trailer, you think those two will be the stars of the film. And then when you watch the film, you're going, wait a minute, where are they? Oh, they pop up every once in a while. And Robert Englund is the scientist, Casper's the NSA guy. And Robert Englund is, for what he's given for the script, it's always nice to see Robert Englund. He does a good job for what he's given, for what lines he's given. And it's one of those scenes where I wish Robert Englund was a star, or I wish it's... I mean, Casper Van Dien has this weird southern accent. I guess southern, and I don't really buy that 100%. But at the same time, I would still rather watch him than... At least he wasn't as bland as the lead guy. And again, the lead guy... I've seen much worse performers and actors, but... Like, Billy Zabka was more interesting just because, oh my gosh, the guy from The Karate Kid. And also, I think he was in Back to School as well. Trying to remember all the films he was in. But then again, the fact that he becomes a piece of crap to an ally, that was kind of interesting. And Robert Englund doesn't have much to do other than chat with Casper Van Dien. And the NSA guys are really useless. Like, to the point where it makes you go, why are they even... I almost want to say why they're even in the film, because they really accomplish nothing but get killed. That's really their job, is to get killed. Now, I think the film is helped that it doesn't take itself too seriously. There's certain bodies that are found that they were delved in acid. The effects on the python itself looks pretty bad. It looks pretty awful. It just looks like crap. I mean, all you have to do is watch a trailer. You'll notice how bad it looks. Some people go, oh, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, it does. It does look that bad. At least a film like Anaconda, those effects may not hold up, but they still look a bit more polished. And at least there are practical, like, animatronics, which is, I still think are cool to see. Yeah, they move a bit too stiffly, I get it, but they're still very cool to see to me. I like seeing that stuff. And at least the production quality is a bit of a higher budget to make it look like they're in the Amazon. Well, here is just some town. Like I said, it says a lot when the films I've seen are a lot worse that this is like a full-on rant. It says a lot. And spoiler alert, when you get to the second half, pretty much because the lead works in a factory and because they don't like him, they think maybe he's the killer. And of course the girlfriend gets pissed at Billy Zabka, then Billy Zabka comes around. Billy Zabka and the lead at one point has a little fight in a playground. And that's what I mean, like, with the way that's done and handled. Like I said, it's a film that doesn't take itself too seriously. The NSA guys, they find what they think is the snake, but it's shed skin. So they shot at just shed skin, and they get killed. And when people get killed, mostly it's cutaways. It's mostly cutaways. The bits of gore you see is maybe like Jenny McCarthy again. She gets her head cut off. Kenny the closer gets eaten. I did say spoilers. The Wil Wheaton gets eaten. Good, because Wil Wheaton's a prick. The NSA guys get killed. Super spoiler alert. Casper Van Dien gets killed because he's too stupid. Because Robert Englund says, "Don't move. Don't put your gun up." He does it anyway. It's like, screw it. I need to get out of this movie right now. I don't want to be in this movie anymore. Raises the gun, gets stabbed from the back, from like the tail. And Robert Englund freezes. And then he meets up with our lead characters. And then he does like the self-sacrifice thing where he goes back to set these bombs up, but that becomes pointless because that didn't do anything and the snake's still alive. I'm sitting there going, then you know what, you might as well just not have killed out Robert Englund. Just have Robert Englund with our characters. With our lead characters. Have him get to interact with our lead characters more. Or have it star Robert Englund. Why? It doesn't need to be this. It could be Robert Englund as a father, and like, you could have the same characters and have Robert Englund be the father of Dana Barron. And so the anger is like Robert Englund with the deputy going, hey, she loves this guy, leave them alone. And the deputy's pissed and blames his kid, and Robert Englund's pissed at Billy Zabka, you doing this just because you're in love with my daughter. Well, you know what, she's in love with him, so you get over it. Has Robert Englund ever done that? Just played a nice father in a lead role in a horror film type? He's like the father of someone, and he like as a good guy, like in a lead role. That would have been more interesting. That would have been more intriguing to me to see Robert Englund play that than just this scientist that says lines like, "You have a very big snake." When Casper Van Dien asks, "What is it?" Or, "This is a perfect killing machine." You notice in every one of these movies, every fucking animal is a perfect killing machine. The shark is a perfect killing machine. The bear is a perfect killing machine. The snake is a perfect killing machine. Is every animal a perfect killing machine? Is a donkey a perfect killing machine? Is a spider a perfect killing machine? Is, I don't know, a gopher a perfect killing machine? Is a fucking armadillo a perfect killing machine? Is a camel riders coming soon? The perfect killing machine spits acid in your face. It's a camel that's been hit by a meteorite. He spits out acid and shoots torpedoes out of his ass. The perfect killing machine. Everything's always a perfect killing machine. How about an imperfect killing machine? And spoilers, they get the snake to follow them to his factory. They're able to catch it, to kill it. Everything's fine now. Billy Zapka's going to go off and try to join the FBI. The lead and this girl open up this shop. People are pretty much fine, and that's it. So Python is one of those movies that, because it goes by at a decent enough pace, because if you're like me and you grew up in this era in the late 80s, early 90s, you'll see a lot of recognizable people. Like, oh yeah, there's that guy, and there's that person, that person. That's a bit fun to watch. Like I said, people like Billy Zabka and, the character of Tinny the Closer, and for a direct-to-video film of this type, there's a couple interesting... Well, I can't even say interesting, but a couple of characters are like, okay, don't mind him. I wish Robert Englund was utilized better. Casper Van Dien kind of has a pointless role at the end of the day. Obviously, they put him in there because he was in Starship Troopers, which was in theaters. Like I said, it doesn't take itself tremendously seriously. Has a bit of comedic, goofy vibe to it. And as I said, it has that late 90s feel aesthetic to it, which may be appealing compared to what they do nowadays. The lead is a BMX bike. He's not just the lead character, but he also on his BMX. So like I say, Python... Again, I've seen much worse movies. And that's sad to say. Like I said, I wish some of the actors were utilized better. I wish, of course, the effects were better. No practical effects, really bad CGI. Like I said, most of the death scenes are just cutaways, or the snake grabs someone and then comes out. And there's a lot better movies like this. There's a lot. I mean, Big Ass Spider, that was more fun than this. Like I said, some of the Dean Cain stuff I could watch more because I like Dean Cain quite a bit. I like him as the lead. I'm trying to think. It actually makes me want to go back and rewatch some of that stuff. Actually, real quick, like, do I have it over there? I'll just show that real quick. Might as well, if I can remember it being over here. I think it's over here. Bear with me on this, guys. This is not planned, obviously, but let me see where. Okay, yeah, it's down here. Okay, there's one. Where's the other? There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. Again, bear with me, guys. Let me see. There's that one. where's the other one? I had another one of that in there. Damn it. Oh, this, okay, now I see where it's at. It's down here. What the hell are you doing down there for? You stupid things, get away. Oh, whatever, fuck you. I know. Screw it. We'll do it live, fuck it. We'll do it live. I didn't mean to bring this over here, but this is what I'm talking about. Well, even films like this, despite not being that good, I can still get some easy enjoyment out of it. Because it's Mark Dacascos, and it's like Predator. But very, very low budget Predator, and the monster's not seen nearly enough. Despite being, I think, a TMB effect. But I still think this will be better than Prey. But this stuff I was talking about, there was a Bowe. That's the one with Dean Cain. And this was, what, 2002? See, I like the fact it took place at this prison, Antarctica. I like the setting, and again, I like Dean Cain. But yeah, Bowe was one, and this is the other one, Dragon Fighter. Hey, yeah, the effects are not like. Look at those effects. That's not what you consider fun effects or good effects. But again, Dean Cain shooting with a gun. I think there's a bit where there's like helicopters trying to fight the dragon, and I don't know why. Sometimes I could deal with them. Sometimes, a lot of times I can't. Maybe if I'll probably say I like these more than Python. But yeah, Python, at the end of the day, I guess if you're really into those Sci-Fi Channel films, then this will be up your alley. And if you're not, like I say, at least this had a couple colorful characters, some recognizable actors. I mean, when your movie starts off a bit with lesbians, it's kind of hard to hate on the film for that. And maybe the film kind of knows a little bit of what it is. Although, again, there's a lot of things that could have been improved. Again, if you just added a bit more blood, gore, improved on the... add a couple, at least practical effects, a couple of them. I add, like, maybe just a couple, like a big snake head that you can shoot at and, you know, rip up some of the skin or shoot under the neck type of area. Snakes don't really have a neck, but on the underside with a shotgun, and yeah, maybe have Robert Englund as the lead, like I mentioned. Like, I think that could improve on it. But like I said, I've seen much worse, and that's sad. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.